Hello Yearathon fam, my name is Kristina. If you don't already know, I post videos on here and I also run our Instagram account. But this week we are very excited to be bringing you some recommendations to get you through our next readathon, which is coming up very, very soon. If you didn't already know, starting on Monday, so a week from today as this video is going up, we will be starting our March readathon, in which our theme is retellings, and we've added the accompanying challenge of reading a series. So we thought we might as well give you our recommendations for both. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite series across different age groups and different genres that I think are perfect for a readathon. I tried to steer away from the typical ones like Shatter Me, Divergent, The Hunger Games. Even though all of those are perfect, I wanted to kind of shine some light and give some focus to ones that I personally think are underrated and ones that I enjoy and think you guys should give a shot this week. So after you have finished watching this video, make sure you head on over to my personal channel, The Princess Gummy Bear. I will link it down below, because there I haven't read too many retellings, so I decided to do retellings I probably should have read by now. And it is kind of shameful and very unfortunate how many are on there, just kind of like the Lunar Chronicles. I know. Next week though. Next week. Okay, so in no particular order, let's get into the top 5. These are not my top 5 favorite series of all time, but my top 5 series that I would recommend for a readathon. First up, we have The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. This series is perfect for next week since it is both a series and fairy tale retellings. This is currently a 6-book series. I own 5 of them and have read the first 2, which is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell, and The Enchantress Returns. This is a lot of books. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I love these books and I hold them near and dear to my heart, and have bought some of the other Yearathon moderators' copies so that they would read them and love them with me. Did they love them? Not as much as I did, but it's a solid series. This is a middle grade series that reimagines every fairy tale we all grew up loving, from the well-known princesses like Cinderella to the underhyped side characters you didn't know you'd love. This series has it all. It does Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan, and all of the classic Disneys. It is reimagined in such a fun way following these 2 twins. And because it's a middle grade, it is such a quick read, making it perfect for next week's readathon. Are any of you really surprised to see the Natural series on this list? If you've known me for a while, you would know that this may be my favorite series of all time. And it is a finished 4-book series that is everything. So in this series, we follow a group of teens that get recruited by the FBI into a naturals program. So the program gets that name because all of these teens have enhanced natural abilities. They can get into the minds of people and figure out what they're going to do. They are really good at math and studying patterns, or figure out when people are lying and reading emotions. And they are able to use these talents to study cold cases and solve murders. So each of these teens comes from a very rough background, and they, because of their history, they developed these abilities further. And it's really hard to read sometimes because they are kind of triggering through different abuses, but it is such a powerful read, and it takes everything you've seen in YA like above and beyond. It has the angst but doesn't make you want to roll your eyes. It has the love interest that is believable to how old these characters are and what they're going through in their lives, and it's not petty and it's not dramatic, and it's just real. And I'm sure I find it more interesting because I study psychology and criminology, but it's just such a good series that is so well written, and I can't hype it up enough. If you would prefer to read some fluffier romance series to get yourself through the week, I recommend the Rosemary Beach series by Abby Glines. So this is the first book. It is, I think, like a 13-book series, but each one is broken up into separate parts. So the first one is 4, and then I think the rest are like 2 or 3 books themselves. And they each follow different characters, but all set at Rosemary Beach. So this series is addicting. I read these first 4 books like back to back, needing to run out to chapters and just buy them all so I could keep reading. And they were so good. They're not anything like outside the box and revolutionary. They're just light, fluffy, contemporary reads. They are new adult, so if you're hesitant about like sexual things, then I would probably steer away from this and go into something tamer like her Vincent Boys series. But I like this one, and I really liked Rush. So I've only read the first 6 books in this series, the Rush series and then the Twisted Perfection. but definitely enjoyed these more so than these, but you don't have to read them in order. They just all tie together and kind of make more sense if you do so. If you are not into romance and want to read something a little bit darker, I recommend the Messenger of Fear duology by Michael Grant. This is another one that I feel like I talked about a lot last year and is probably also on my list of favorites, just because it is so different and dark and it pushes so many boundaries. So I will link my author interview that I did with Michael Grant down below, because I was able to talk to him about this book and kind of how he got such messed up ideas, and it was like fascinating. So in this series we follow the messenger who is dealing out justice to people that have done wrong and didn't face the consequences. And sometimes it gets like really dark and really gruesome. These people are facing their biggest fears and it's extreme at times, but also like really impactful. And then our main character, Mara, interesting. She goes on a journey figuring out how she got herself involved in these issues. So it was really good, and this makes me want to reread it, so totally recommend. Last but not least, my 5th series recommendation is one that kind of covers everything and is a nice balance of the light and the dark and the romance but the serious, and that is the Hex Hall Trilogy by Rachel Hawkins, but there is also a spin-off / companion 4th book, but that one was just okay. So this series is another one that kind of covers everything, like I said, and has a really smooth writing style, so you can read all of these books, which are already kind of thin, super quick. And we follow students at Hex Hall who have supernatural abilities. So we have like witches and vampires and werewolves and all of that fun, creepy, dark stuff. And people start dying, and of course there's like romance aspects in here, and it's been a while since I've read these, but I remember really enjoying them and reading them so quickly. So I think these ones were pretty popular when they came out, but the hype has definitely died down, and I don't feel like enough people have read them. So give them a shot if you are interested in like the magical, whimsical stuff, because they're really solid. So yes, those are the top 5 series that I recommend you guys pick up next week. Make sure you let me know what I should read besides the Lunar Chronicles, which I promise I'm going to pick up and read next week. But I have some other retelling ones that I want to read. So again, make sure you check out the video that I posted on my channel. It is up right now, so link down below. And yeah, I'm always looking for some new series. I have a few that I own and haven't read, so I gotta get into it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my recommendations, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.